Welcome to the Beyond Barriers podcast. If you're an ambitious woman who wants to dominate your career, then you are in the right place. This podcast is co-hosted by Nikki Barua, digital innovator, serial entrepreneur, author, and speaker, and Monica Marquez, ex-Googler, diversity expert, and senior corporate leader. From inspiring stories to cutting-edge strategies, you'll learn how to develop the skill set, mindset, and tool set to get future-ready fast and accelerate your success. Welcome to the Beyond Barriers Habits and Hacks Show. Okay, it's the first week of July and we have 6 more months until the end of the year. And despite all of the chaos we've experienced in the first half of the year, let's make today a new beginning. Over the next few weeks, we're going to address many of the common questions we get regarding how to jumpstart, reset, re-energize momentum, and get past barriers to career success. And in today's episode, we'll share practical tips for you to implement so that you can take action and gain momentum in the second half of 2020. So here's a question we get from many of our listeners. How do you overcome obstacles and recover from setbacks? What are your thoughts on this topic, Nikki?
That's a great question. Well, my thought about overcoming obstacles and recovering from setbacks is to really treat every day like a new beginning. It's an opportunity for a daily reset that can bring about new hope, new energy, and new excitement to take on the challenges of the day. Because your attitude determines your ability to overcome, whatever it is that you're facing. So if you are down about things or you're pessimistic about it, it's going to be really hard for you to be creative and resourceful in coming up with the best solutions. On the other hand, if you are filled with new energy and everything is just looking bright and optimistic, you're probably going to figure out a way. Because at the end of the day, look, none of us knows what the future holds. And sometimes the idea of the unknown and the uncertainty that comes with it can be incredibly terrifying. But if you focus your mindset on possibilities and opportunity and only good things coming out of the future, then it allows you to have hope. It helps you take action and move forward, even with the smallest of steps, which over time, as you keep taking one step after the next, that's how momentum builds up and that's how you ultimately achieve your goals.
Well, I can completely agree. And I've learned how different it feels when I've adopted that mindset, right? That positive mindset and thinking about every day is a brand new slate. But I also know how difficult it is when I've experienced setbacks and I've felt paralyzed in the moment. Like recent, right? We've all gone through this, the first 6 months where the pandemic has impacted all of us. And I experienced lost business opportunities in a matter of days. And I remember feeling devastated and in total despair, not knowing what to do. And even though you kept reassuring me that it was just another obstacle to overcome, I really struggled with moving forward with that uncertainty. And now looking back, I realized that I lost several weeks moping and not doing anything really, instead of taking action and treating each day like a new beginning. But, I saw you recover much faster, right? So you may have lost, because you're only human, you may have lost a couple of days and I lost a couple of weeks. What helps you get over your setback so quickly? Because you did rebound much faster than I did. And then, I finally came to my senses and adopted the framework and the mindset you kept telling me to do. And then I started making strides. But how do you do it so quickly?
Well, the key habit here is to focus on the present, because the past is gone and the future has not arrived yet.
Right.
And the only thing you can really control is what you do today in the present and whether you give it everything you've got. So if you put all your energy into fretting about the past, worrying about the future, or feeling sadness and disappointment about losses and failures, it really depletes your energy and it distracts your focus. And energy is actually more important than even time. So how we feel really determines that. And if the last 6 months have been absolutely unexpected and filled with so much uncertainty for everybody, because even though we're not all in the same boat, we're all experiencing the same storm.
Right.
Worldwide, everyone in some shape or form has been impacted by a global pandemic, and the business environment, the economic impact for people's lives, and just the general sense of not knowing what happens next. Of course, there's also the impact of being quarantined and the isolation that it creates, and the impact on mental health and wellness because of that. So there's a lot that's gone on in the last 6 months. And, there's different ways that people have reacted to it, and obviously different impact that people have experienced. I know folks that have suffered tremendously, in terms of their livelihoods, their businesses, even their health, and have lost people close to them. And yet they've come out of that experience really with a level of wisdom and perspective that is awe-inspiring. And on the other hand, I've also seen folks that have really not endured or suffered anything personally. They're still fortunate to have everything. They have good health and they have their jobs and income and all of that, but are living in a constant state of fear and hopelessness and anxiety, which is almost self-induced. And one way to think about it is, when you remember back to December 31st, 2019, think back to your emotions and your thoughts on that evening. Were you thinking, wow, 2019 was kind of a blah year, or, for some people it was pretty crappy, and saying, great, I'm just so glad 2019 is over, because it wasn't that great of a year. I can't wait for 2020. In 2020, a lot of people made the correlation of, it's 2020 perfect vision. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be just an outstanding year, a year of so much opportunity. Everyone had these big dreams and aspirations. And of course, we kick off Jan 1st, 2020, filled with that hope and expectation. And that's true for almost every New Year's Day. We kick off, we let go of the previous year. And just the switch from December 31st to Jan 1st, there's this mental switch that happens. And on Jan 1st, we wake up energized, excited, enthusiastic, full of optimism. We make new commitments to ourselves about how we're going to be more healthy or work out more. We're going to achieve bigger things. We're going to do all these things we didn't do the year before. We want to reclaim ourselves and reclaim our opportunity. We tend to do that every New Year. And if you think of it from that standpoint, right, why is it that we're able to do that? It's because we treat, that transition from one year to the new year as a reset. And it's only a mental reset, because there's nothing else that's magically happening. Though, there's absolutely nothing that changes when the clock strikes midnight and there's a new year that emerges, and we're, celebrating with champagne and wishing each other Happy New Year's. But the mental reset and the optimism and hope that comes with it allows us to shift our energy. And when we shift our energy, we're able to take action and do the things that we somehow felt too fatigued or, too sort of too much inertia to do anything about. And so that is exactly the mental model you want, except instead of waiting 12 months to feel that way, what if you could feel that way every 24 hours? Just compress the time frame of that mental reset every 24 hours, treat it like New Year's Day, and whatever happened in the previous 24 hours, let it go. Don't worry about what's going to happen the next year or the next day. Just focus on that current 24-hour period. And, what you can do in that, bring about that same kind of energy and enthusiasm. And you will see that when you don't waste energy trying to change your past, and focus your energy on the one small thing that you can do today that will get you closer to the bigger thing you must achieve within that week, that will move you towards the more significant thing that you set for the month, that will ultimately lead you towards your end goal for the year. When you keep doing that, that's when you get momentum, and that's when you get towards a positive outcome.
Yeah, I absolutely now know that embracing that idea, it actually does. Like, I remember you telling me that, and I'm like, yeah, why can't I have that feeling every day like I do when I wake up New Year's, morning? And I started adopting that and telling myself to do that. And you do find this now, I started, okay, let me look at the month as a new reset, and then the week, and then the day. And you do graduate to that point where then you're like, okay, today didn't go the way I wanted it to. Tomorrow is going to be a new day.
Right.
And so I just now am someone who I'm a convert. I converted. So now I celebrate New Year's Day every day. And I think that that's really what's kind of moving me forward and getting me super excited for the next 6 months as to what can be. What can you do to focus on today that is going to make tomorrow an even better day? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, if you take it even further, in what so much has been written about and what the greatest philosophers teach us, which is to really focus on the present moment, not even the present day, but the present moment, which is the ultimate level of renewal and reset. Because if you think of every moment like a reset, then everything is just filled with opportunity, because hope is such a big part of what drives us. If we did not have hope for a better future, we would not be able to take action. But the fact that we have hope in tomorrow or in the future, it's what allows us to keep moving forward. But that future, when it's too far out there, we often get sidetracked or crippled by all the limiting beliefs of fears and uncertainties that start to creep up between now and then. So if you make that time frame really brief, like a day or an hour or a moment, you're not even really thinking about that. You're simply being completely present. You're focused on the gratitude of that moment instead of fretting and being disappointed about what was, or being fearful of what might be. You're simply grateful for being in that moment. And I think even through the turmoil and the crises of this year, there's a lot that each of us can be grateful for, in that moment. And when you celebrate that with gratitude and with growth, it fills you with a whole new perspective of what is possible every day from this point onwards. And as we're embarking on the second half of the year, I hope that we're able to bring that kind of wisdom and perspective, so that no matter what happens in the outside world, all the things that are out of your control, all the things that, really are uncertain and unknown, don't let that determine how you choose to feel. Don't let that determine how you choose to live. And certainly don't let that determine what you choose to do or not do. So be guided by what is right for you. Be guided by, gratitude, and just take that one step after the next step.
That's fantastic. Okay, everyone, if you want to gain momentum, then treat each day like it's a new beginning. Bring the same enthusiasm, energy, and excitement you feel every New Year's morning and each and every day. And if you're ready for change, but need help taking action, then sign up for the 5-day challenge so you can get step-by-step guidance to turn uncertainty into action in 5 days. Every day is a new beginning and a step towards your North Star. Take action and jumpstart your momentum. Thanks for listening. There are thousands of podcasts out there, and we are so grateful that you've chosen to listen to ours. Visit IamBeyondBarriers.com, where you'll find show notes and links to all the resources referenced in this episode. And be sure to take the quiz on the website. Your score will tell you where you are, what helps you gain momentum, and what holds you back. You'll also get a free guide with cutting-edge career strategies. We'd also love to hear from you. Share your comments and topic suggestions on iambeyondbarriers.com, and we'll be sure to address them in future episodes. If you enjoyed our show today, please subscribe and rate the podcast, or just tell a friend about it. See you next episode.